dapatkan
Dari mana?
Malaysia Gazette.
Okey, Malaysia Gazette. Tak apalah, terima kasih dulu. Malaysia Gazette ni clickbait je ni. Saya cakap lain, dia letak headline lain selalunya.
Nantilah YB kritikan Puan Zakati lah, YB Puan Zakati.
Boleh rujuk kepada komen saya semalam. Terima kasih. Sebab dah jawab. It's weekend. But you address anyone who has to work on weekends will try to smile but not happy inside. Sorry, kidding. Sorry, yeah.
Alright, so maybe I can just open a form for the questions.
Okay, just now you mentioned about the government will hide Laila from RTF. Because now you mentioned in your speech that they can go and make sure that inflation will be moderate and not up and also down. So what do you think about it?
Well, you see, inflation is a function of supply and demand. Government is able to see data, not just the current data, but also projections of the next few months. Data indicates that inflation will continue to moderate, and that's why we are optimistic that we will be able to meet the inflation target for the economy this year between 2.8 to 3.3%. And there are reasons for this. Part of it is because of the global economy, part of it as well because of the domestic demand, part of it is because the focus on sections of the inflation, inflation has baskets of foods or prices. So with focus in the last few months, albeit sometimes unpopular, but we focus on the fact that restaurant and cooked meal, takeaway food, these were the main contributors to inflation. So I think it's a combination of everything, and data is showing that inflation will continue to moderate, and I think we will continue doing a combination of efforts. Part of it are structural and will take some time. We are focusing on scaling up food production capacity at local communities. We are focusing on the narratives that cooked meal prices should moderate, and as much as people perhaps don't understand what ramah is, why we push 2 to 3 ringgit cooked meal through vending machines, is also part and parcels to condition the public that that should be the food prices. While we can't force restaurants to lower their prices, or we can't roll out another round of subsidies or price control on coke prices, but we can create that ecosystem and environment where there is a competition in prices. I know that people say when you start really pushing for cheaper cooked meal prices to certain section of society, while it will not benefit everyone, but it also helps, in my opinion, to become a benchmark with a check and balance as well, so that food at restaurants, dekat gerai ni, doesn't continuously go up. Because now people know, why are you charging for this for 7 ringgit when I can get elsewhere for just 4 or 5 ringgit? So I think it's a combination of effort. Some are market oriented, some are narratives, some are fundamentals, but altogether we hope that this downward trend of moderating inflation will continue until the end.
Rabi, Tasha from Manama TV. So Rabi, to make sure the inflation remain be moderate, is it the government will increase the OPR?
I've repeated this so many times that I want to respect that monetary policy, which also concerns OPR, as best as possible should be left to Bank Negara because they take a long-term view. Because imagine if minister like me makes decision on OPR every now and then, I go to functions like this guy say, naik OPR, that guy say, turun OPR, you know. Politicians by nature have to deal with short-term concerns. And a lot of short-term concerns are usually emotional. Whereas the trajectory of the economy, and that concerns OPR and money supply and monetary policy. This is very long-term in nature and must be data-driven and evidence-based. By nature, politicians has to respond to emotions. And while I don't know whether it will go up or will go down, I've maintained persistently that the monetary policy, as best as possible, unless it begins to encroach on social safety nets, unless it begins to have immediate impact on the economy, that you move away from that sweet spot between sustainability and growth, then we will have that discussion with Bank Negara. As it is, I want to respect that, and that's my position in government and outside government. We'll see how the market reacts. The debt ceiling problem in US hopefully is about to resolve. By next week it will resolve. I suppose Bank Negara will continue to monitor all these developments, and we will be updated. We will have that discussion. But the decision is not a politician's decision on day-to-day basis when we meet different groups of people differently. That is not how monetary policy should be, and that's my position. That media will continue to ask. At some point, I will say, please refer to my video semalam, because it's going to be the same response throughout.
Hi, Krishan from FMT News. The question is to Dr. Umar and maybe YB can comment as well. While markets around the world rallied to close higher yesterday, FDM plus CI ended in the red. So my question is, why hasn't the US debt crisis resolution brought any respite to the local market?
It's about consumer, it's about investor confidence, their mindset. What we have in Malaysia at the moment is, as Young Muhammad shared, the nature of our business is they're looking for what's the profitability that we see coming from companies. So the key thing for Malaysian businesses is to get back to business and earn profits. Because why do people invest? People invest for dividends, people invest for growth. And so it's that clear line of sight to growth that we'll be seeing. So trading headwinds are not the same as debt ceiling. So we have exogenous factors such as the China-US trade tensions. Now, Malaysia, medium term, is well positioned to benefit from changes in diversification of supply chains, as Young Muhammad touched on in his speech. So as we pivot to sustainable economy, to creating new roles and new opportunities, we're looking to see these companies come through on the exchange as well.
So just
let me add on that. I don't invest actively in equities, so I'm not from stock analyst house, but this is my view about the last 24 hours. As the debt ceiling crisis in US being resolved, the biggest beneficiary was Asia, and hence your question. Japan went out, Taiwan went out, Korea went out. So on the one hand, there's a lot of excitement that as this is resolved, then you get investor confidence in the whole global economy moving up a bit. But as Dr. Umar mentioned, so far in the first 24 hours, your question is about the last 24 hours. I just mentioned about, our job is not a snapshot and to take a long-term view. So my perspective of the long-term prospect is this. It is true that as the uncertainties in the US are resolved, you will see the pickup of interest again, especially in emerging markets as well as some markets in Asia. If, and we will go through in detail, why is Korea, why is Taiwan, why is Japan. These three countries in Asia were the biggest winners yesterday. It's the same thing that Dr. Umar mentioned. It's a mix, it's a so-called the mix of economy that is reflected on the stock exchange. Korea benefited a lot because of tech. Japan benefited a lot because of they were considered to be undervalued all these years. Taiwan benefited because despite the ongoing geopolitical tensions, there's a belief that semiconductor will really pick up after this. So, in that sense, our march for long-term, mid-term reforms actually fit into this yearning and hunger for more value in this region when the uncertainties are resolved in the US. So we have this window of opportunity. You may not see in 24 hours or 1 week, but if we do the right thing first in the long term to make sure that our counters and the companies that offer value at Bursa tap into where the money is going. And I've mentioned this so many times, in the last 2 years, the highest investment actually went into green energy and energy transition, no longer tech. So if we position ourselves faster and better than other countries in this region, in energy transition, for example, and we start seeing all these solution providers and energy transition companies beginning to reflect on Bursa and oil market, that's the kind of things that, inshallah, I'm very confident that you will start seeing the interest back to Malaysia pouring again.
Can I add to that? Yeah.
I thought maybe I should just add on to what Minister as well as Dato' Umar have said. From the perspective of retail investors, I think it is important that we take a longer-term perspective in our investment. So endowing yourself with the right knowledge to make informed investment decisions is key. As Minister had mentioned, I think this is multiple times, the focus is really in technology, renewable and food security. So he has already given you the country's direction. So as a retail investors, you may want to spend some time looking at some of those companies listed on Bursa. They are probably in this area and they may stand to gain the kind of upside, when some of these strategies are being put in place. Okay, so happy investing.
Last question? Yes.
Dato' Umar, from Nayang Shankar, just a question for Dato' Umar. Some Malaysia yesterday have a press release about will take action against these listed companies who yet to appoint 3 new directors. So what action will be taken?
Well, there's been a long lead time, so what will happen is we will engage the boards, ask what they're doing, and it'll be step by step. So it's nothing draconian, but we need to also make sure that the market understands that we're very serious about what we do, and as a market operator, I think, you know, we are very serious about what we do. And hence, the first step is to engage the companies, and we have been engaging the companies before the press release, and we'll continue to do so. So one is compliance with listing rules, the other is that desire to see 30% representation in boards, which is an ongoing body of work that the exchange is taking, and talking to PLCs and chairmen and directors and boards.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So for today, our press conference will
Anyone they want to ask about politics is okay. Dari mana?
Malaysia Gazette.
Okay. Macam gazette. Tak apalah kita kasih buat. Clickbait sini. Saya cakap lain, dia letak headline lain selalunya.
Adalah YB kritikan Puan Zakaria YB Puan Zakaria.
Boleh rujuk kepada komen saya semalam. Terima kasih. Sebab dah jawab.
Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone.